Hey, what's going on, coaches? Coach Eric here and Coach Mark from coachestrainingroom.com. I hope you're doing well, staying safe. We are so excited to be here live with you. Let us know where you're from, where you're watching this from, and how you're doing right now. We know it's crazy times. We'd love to see how you're doing. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know where you're watching from, how you're doing, and any questions that you have. Today's topic I'm so excited about is position focus, central midfield. And we're going to do some Q&A at the end if there's time. We try to keep these at about 30 minutes. So make sure you get your questions in. So now, like sooner the better, so we can review them and make sure we can try to fit them into the live program. So that's part of the benefits of being on here live. So my name's Coach Eric, and I'm here in the United States, specifically in Michigan. The virus has hit pretty hard here, so I've been pretty much locked down. I went out real quick earlier today to grab some food with my mask and everything and come back, but that's about it. That's about the extent of going out, except doing yard work and things like that. But anyways, excited to be here. Let us know you're here. Say hi in the comments where you're watching from. And Coach Mark and I started Coach's Training Room about 8 years ago. We provide done-for-you session plans to make it easier as a coach to adapt it into your own coaching style, to use out there on the field with your teams to get them better mentally, physically, and give them the skills they need to win more games, become better players, become better just overall individuals. So real quick, so my background is individual skills training, small group training. My YouTube channel has over 9 million views. I'm so grateful and thankful for that. I realize that a lot of kids are learning online. So Mark and I paired up, and I've been doing some team training as well. So that's my passion. I love it. And yeah, just working with Mark is a blessing. It's been so much fun. So I'm excited to get into the topic. How you doing over there, Coach Mark, on your end of the world?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us live. Yeah, I'm doing good, Eric. It's like you say, it's kind of we don't really have a great deal to talk about, as far as things going on in our lives at the minute, because everything's kind of very, very much wound down. But hopefully we're starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel, some green shoots of recovery, so to speak. So yeah, we're just hopefully counting the days till better times, and hopefully one day closer to being back on the field, back enjoying our soccer again. So yeah, keeping in good spirits, staying in touch with family, friends over video call as much as anything. I think that's been a real learning curve for some of my older family members, mum and dad in particular. Really struggled with the technology at first, but I think they've really grasped it now. It's exciting. So yeah, glad to be here. And just to touch on what Eric's already mentioned there, my name is Mark. I'm from Manchester, or just south of Manchester in England. Eric and I set this up just about 8 years ago. And it's something that was born out of both of our passions. And, we're really, really grateful to be able to do this daily. My background is I was coaching over in the States and back here in the UK, and lucky enough to be exposed to lots and lots of different coaches from lots of different backgrounds. And what was really exciting for me was the amount of ideas that can be put together. So there is no one size fits all, because soccer would be very, very dull if there was one strategy that worked. There are hundreds of proven strategies, and our job in all this is to bring as many of them as possible to you in something that's easy to digest and easy to apply to your own styles, so that you get the results out of it, which what we want more than anything is that the players are developing a great and enjoying their soccer as well. So anything that we can do to do that and make your lives easier is exactly what we love to do. Great. Are you happy for me to go ahead and dive straight into today's topic, Eric? Are you happy for me to?
Yeah. I'm just putting a comment in there. We got Coach Merle. I'm just putting some in the comments here. Welcome, Coach Merle, and welcome again. You're a repeat live watcher. Thanks so much, and commenter on our post. We hope you guys been enjoying our posts on social media. We appreciate the shares and the likes, obviously, and we appreciate the likes on the live videos. Everything's, we appreciate that, and passing it along so we can all grow and become better coaches. We got Coach Messi on, and we got it's an Arabic spelling, but I can't read your name. But thanks so much for joining us, coaches. We're looking forward to diving into today's session on the central midfield position. And any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments. All right, let's take it away. Go ahead, go for it, Mark.
Sorry, I'm sitting around here. I'm trying to do.
Oh, no problem.
I'm typically last minute. So yeah, I got a couple of things that we'll
speaker view. There we go.
Really just building on what we were looking at last week. It was interesting for me to try and share the screen and all the rest that went with it. So we touched on some certain things about certain positions. I was I was getting really excited about one particular part, which was the movement of David Silva in the midfield, which was happening over the other side of the field to everything that was going on where the action was. The sort of things that I want to try and draw people's attention to. So I was getting so excited about a particular part that I thought I'd try and open it out a little bit. And talk about what I would consider probably one of the more important positions on the field, in the sense that it's such a wide skill set that you need for that particular position, that I think it would be important for any player to have an understanding of the importance of the role and understand the fundamentals, because they are widely applicable to other positions. And I'm not saying that there's one position that is more important than the others, absolutely not. But this is a key area where you're going to get through a serious amount of work. It is the central midfield area, because you've got so much of the field to cover, in effect, within your position, and a lot of roles to understand, and just to try and tie it all together. So if we were to think about this in terms of a story, you have the defenders, the midfield, and then you have the attack. You got the goalkeeper, defenders, midfield, attack. So in that story, the midfield are what's going to link the beginning of a move to the end. I mean, there are obviously there's obviously ways around that. It could be long ball game, for example, where you just getting the ball up the field. It could be the 90th minute and you're chasing a goal, and you might bypass the midfield altogether. But typically speaking, we've got the goalkeepers, defenders, midfield, and attack, and it is about stringing all of that together. So the midfield have got a couple of roles to understand. So I'm going to actually hit the screen share on again, Eric.
So that was my favorite position.
There.
Central midfielder, and a lot of my the players I train, that's their ideal position. I mean, mostly up to the coach on where they want to put them, but most of the time they want to play that center mid, for obvious reasons. They get to play everywhere, everything, and they get to distribute to, and they're the eyes and ears of the field, that center midfield position.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's take everything that we're sort of in towards with a pinch of salt. We're just looking at it from a purely kind of from a little bit of game, but also from a coach and from an analytical standpoint here. So again, if you play centre mid as well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, just take everything that we're saying. We're looking at this from an analytical standpoint. But the key traits that we're going to be focusing on here are ultimately vision and creativity. If you type it into YouTube and you watch any midfielder's highlight reel, they're going to be looking at the balls into the box, the key passes that are taking out 3 or 4 players at the same time, but also the work rate and positioning for those players. So all of those things that we've just mentioned there, so the vision, the creativity, the work rate, and the positioning, are coming from a developed ability, might I add, from understanding space and danger. So you've got from the attacking point of view, we've got the ball as a team. I'm looking at the space on the field as a midfielder. I'm going to be trying to position myself between the lines as much as possible, to give myself an opportunity on the ball to, one, control it, get my head up, and then make those key passes. If you've got that half a second more, you're going to be able to pick that pass and play it with more accuracy, a better success rate than if you were under immediate pressure. So with that in mind, with us thinking about the space, we can also reverse that so that we can look at it from a defensive point of view as well. So if I'm a midfielder and I'm actively, when we've got the ball, looking for the space, looking for the areas on the field, when we flip that round, I know that there's another player who's going to be doing the very, very same thing. So can I work to identify space as a danger now? And can we look to, move into those spaces, take the ball back when it's available to do so? So we're talking about the just some of those finer points there. So space and danger, we'll just look at a couple of video clips now.
Okay. Right, we got Coach, just giving some shout outs. We got Coach Dawson on. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. Merle has a loaded comment there, question. Help him out. He's got a couple comments there. We appreciate the comments coming through. Like I said, we'll try to hit as much as we can. We want to make sure, first off, we hit the topic for the day, and then we're going to check out your comments. Absolutely. So I'm keeping track over here and then making note of your comments as they come through. So thanks so much.
Just seen the comment come in, Moral. It looks, there's plenty to that one. So we'll dive into that one hopefully at the end, should we have time. If not, we'll definitely, because there's quite a lot to unpack there. Yeah. From it. So if we don't get around to answering the whole thing live, Miro will pick that one up in the comments or in our inbox just after, when we can do it a bit more justice. So I'm just going to. You
want me to do the full screen on yours, right? Because you're going to show a clip.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh wow. There we go. Perfect.
Right. Okay. I've done it again. Let me cancel this share. Stop share. We'll start again.
Oh, that's all right.
I got it this time. Here we go.
Yeah, just get it on the right screen there. Perfect. There it goes.
How's that?
So we're looking at midfield. Yeah. Okay. So we're going over midfield, guys.
Yep. So I'm gonna hit play. We're gonna let it just play through here for a second. Okay. So it's all over in a flash. There's a little pause in there. Okay, so all done in a flash. So we'll just unpack what we're looking at here. So the player in question is the one that we're going to freeze it on in just a second. So the ball is bouncing around a congested area. They're going to receive the ball. This is the central midfield player that we're going to be looking at. The ball's just come loose actually, and they've picked it up in some space. So I'm going to pause the video. I know there is a pause in there. But this ball is a loose ball. So what they've done here, if I just rewind ever so slightly, you see a compact area here. There's not much room for the player on the ball to go. Ultimately, they want to try and get their head up and make an opportunity happen. They've got two players ahead of them here who are both in an offside position. They've got one pass here that might actually just be denied. So we're talking percentages. They're pretty likely to be perhaps losing the ball. So you'll notice the player here is just holding back, giving themselves a little bit of space. So if the ball does come loose, as it does, we're just going to pause it here. You'll notice we've got, with my quick maths, that is every outfield player in under a quarter of the field that you can see here. So this player, you can see how crowded, congested it is. Before that ball has come to them, they've already identified the fact that they're under immense pressure at this point. So if they're under pressure, where is the available player? So they identify that quickly, and again, right under pressure there. We can't really be affording to take a touch here. So it's ideal that we've identified the space and the danger, and we get the ball out of that dangerous area. So under pressure, identify the danger which is around us, the space which is over to the left-hand side, and pop the ball out that way. So it's just about understanding that pressure, where it is, making sure that you've developed your wing mirrors, you're checking your surroundings at all times. If you can, if you know that you're under pressure on the field, that means that some of your teammates are going to be free. It's the same with any press. When you crowd an area to deny space and try and win the ball back, what you're actually doing is leaving space in other areas of the field that we're identifying as less dangerous. In this situation, the midfielders picking the ball up and trying to think, okay, well, how can we actually, rather than just, we know that there might be space behind us if I can play the ball back, but can we maintain the pressure that we're trying to build? So it's about identifying the danger, realizing there's no option, but also where is the next option to build the attack. If they're denying space here, that might leave us more available over the other side. So I apologize, I have to hop out of each video to do so. So for this next one, I'm actually just going to bring the tactical board in here. I don't know if you can see this, Eric. We're going to try and work in just one half of it. But we talk about from there, is that all that clear? Can we see that?
Yeah. Hey, bring it a little closer if you can.
And bring it in a little bit more.
A little bit.
Technology, right? I'm getting the glare off the screen. Is that okay?
Yep.
Perfect.
These are from our good friends over at NLT Tactical Boards. Awesome boards. Zibby's a good friend of ours, and we've been going back and forth with him on his boards. So
yeah, these are
great.
Really useful. Now, what I'm just going to do here is it's just a quick as a midfielder. So the numbers aren't in any. I've not set these up to be position specific at this point. I'm just doing it for the purpose of this. However, if we were talking about perhaps the ball with the defensive player here, again, it's the number 7 in the example. It's not accurate. We're not looking at the numbers on the players, but just the position that they're in. So the central defender here, if they were to identify some space on the field and they actually brought the ball out into this area and people are going to push on a little bit, what you might find is that, again, identifying the space, identifying the danger, this player is pushed into this area. So from the attacking point of view, this player might go position themselves in here where that big hole is that's just been vacated. Bear in mind, we're still in possession of the ball, but this this midfielder with the defensive mindset at this point is going to think, okay, well, if we actually lose the ball in this position, that's always got to be at the back of your mind. What happens if we do lose the ball in this situation? Are we going to be under immediate threat? Because in that transition, you might only have, a second to react, a couple of seconds to reset. And that is actually, if you're talking about a couple of seconds and somebody's running into a big hole in the central defense, it's actually a goal before you've even, or at least an attempt on target before you've got back and set up. So that player at this point might just switch their defensive mindset on. Okay, well, that central defender's pushed into the space that I'm occupying. Is it worth me just popping back in and covering that position in that particular instance? Okay, so that's just a quick one from the defensive perspective. I'm going to switch back to the video now. Got it all going on. Struggling.
Yeah, that was good. It was really clear on here.
Perfect. Okay. Pop those back as we were. Okay. All right.
Coach Dashians thought it was pretty funny that all of Barcelona's team was back there.
Yeah. I mean, well, something has got to be done, right? I think it was Messi on the ball at that point.
You better get all the whole team on him, huh?
I crowd him out, yeah. Okay, so the next one, let's get this open already. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, throw your comments in questions in the comments. Thumbs up, a hearts, helps us get the video out to more coaches as well, so we can all learn.
And talk amongst yourselves. Well, I guess so. Right, here we go. Share. All right. Okay. So, and again, as we've just talked about there, the midfielder can drop back into certain positions that you might consider defensive just to cover the space. So you can see. Can you see my video? Okay, Eric, is that open?
Yes.
Up on the screen. Perfect. Okay. So this player here is actually our midfielder. So they've dropped to receive the ball. And we'll just let it play. So again, it's a pretty short clip, but what we're actually going to be, what we're looking at here is the identification of space, but also one thing that is really, really crucial technically is being comfortable on the ball with the ball at your feet. If your central midfielders are going to have to be comfortable with the ball at the feet, because they're going to come under enormous pressure from players around them. They're going to have a good first touch, but they're also going to have to be able to dribble the ball into space. I think it was Wayne Rooney had said years ago after the Champions League final against Barcelona, and he was talking about how the players were actually dribbling not to engage a player. I'm not. The player wasn't trying to take that person on. They weren't dribbling with that end goal in mind. What they were doing was dribbling until you got close enough, and then passing the ball off. So you never even got to make a tackle. If you're particularly good at that skill, then all you're doing is drawing players onto you. And if you're drawing a player towards you, that means you're going to free up the position for somebody somewhere else on the field. So if we just play here, that player is identified as a big pocket of space, and they're just going to drive into that space, drawing what is 1, 2, 3 players into that central area, which actually frees up 3 players on the outside of the field. If we just run it back ever so slightly, yes, the player's open for the pass at this point, but if you're going to knock the ball into this space, you've not actually drawn any pressure onto yourself, and this player can, whilst the ball might travel faster than the player, that's not a huge distance to close down at that point for a lofted pass in the air. So really, we're not gaining any space. However, if this player attacks the space, draws those players in, and then makes the pass, actually bypasses the 3 players I was focusing on. So that's that kind of ends that. But that it does also brings the play into that next phase of attack, which again, we started out in the defence. We've made the run into the midfield area, committed some midfield players, and actually be able to make a through ball to a player who's in that particular right-sided position. And again, if I just focus on where they pass the ball as well, we're talking about a pass to feet, but we're talking about subtle differences here. If that pass was just so you notice how the right-sided player is receiving the ball with an open body on their right foot. I'll just pause that there. If you're receiving the ball with an open body with your right foot, you're taking it into your stride, you're seeing where you want to go, and you're actually moving in the direction that you want to go. If that ball was slightly different, if that ball was the wrong side of the player, so they were receiving it on the left foot, you're going to turn your body away, so you're almost facing the sideline of the field now, which actually nullifies that momentum. It stopped that momentum that we built from the positive run. So subtle differences, and that focuses more on the technical side of the passing that we're doing. But it's important to identify those really, really subtle differences. So I'll just let that one play out once more. Identify the space, attack the space, and ultimately make the right pass for the right situation. I'll hop straight into the next one because I know I can talk. So here we go. And then we talked about. Just let me know if you can see the screen, Eric. Is that up there?
Yes, perfect.
All right. So the ball has come into the ball is in transition here. It's coming right into this this midfield player with their back turned. They know which direction the pressure is coming from. They know that they're under immediate pressure. So you've got a couple of choices in this situation. I'm just going to let this one play. And again, so if we just hold that one where we were talking about the confidence, the efficiency in having the ball and keeping the ball. This player actually has 2 options at this point. We can either go back to our central defender. We've got a nice open body here. We know where the pressure's coming from. Naturally, that looks like a good passing option. What the player actually does is gets the body in the way of where they're going, fakes the pass initially, and clips inside. Now they're the right side of the player. They've got their. So if you notice the subtle change in body position, which sold the player one way, and now we're facing the right way, and it's again. Now we've got a little bit of space to run into, but we've also got that little bit of time that I was talking about before to pick the pass. So getting the head up, actually breaking the lines between the midfield, turning those players around and getting us on the right way. So I'll just play that one through one more time. You notice the little difference in position, which means we can make that space and then getting your head up. So that player already knows what's on the other side of that just from a quick check of the shoulders before the ball came in.
Mm-hmm. And then he has his leg blocking, good, perfect positioning.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's these subtle, and again, as I mentioned the other week, these are the sort of things that won't make a highlight reel because unless it ends up in a goal scoring opportunity. But again, the clip might be shortened so that you see very, very little part of this early build up. So it's just important that we make sure that these parts get the recognition as well, because ultimately, when the ball goes in the net, there's a lot of things that have happened before that to get that position. This is what I'm talking about, when every player on the team actually plays a part in the goal that's scored, which means we can never stand around, we can never just stand and watch, because whilst we might not touch the ball in the whole series of the play right from start to finish, it doesn't mean that we haven't influenced it some way and just moving subtly or taking a player out of a position from somewhere else. So the last one we'll end on is kind of everything that we've talked about. So it's that identity. Oh, I'm just playing it for myself. I forgot to share. So this is a short. It's a very, very short clip, which kind of it embodies everything about the identification of space and danger, being proficient on the ball, drawing players into you to free up players elsewhere on the field, and just remaining aware of that at all time. So it's being creative, it's being hardworking, tenacious on the defensive side, but then also your job's not done once you've done that defensive side of things. If you can dictate the transition, if you can control and dictate the tempo, which generally speaking you can do from the central midfield position more than anywhere else, it is dictate the tempo, set the tempo for your team to play at. And really affect the opposition. So we're going to be looking at this player here. The ball, the clip is kind of clipped in a way that's it's all going to happen very, very fast. So this player here is passing the ball into feet here. This player right here has actually noticed what's going on and is going to nip into the space, attack the ball, but then mount the attack as well. You'll notice here, I'm going to play it through slowly again after this. So run in, hit the ball, and now they've got the opportunity to attack the space. In attacking the space, they're going to commit 3 players to that, which means that we've got 3 players elsewhere on the field. So I'm going to run the slow motion one through one more time. Pause it a couple of times. So we've nipped in, we've identified the danger, we've moved into, we've anticipated well, because the ball might not, the player could fake a pass into that, in which case we took a chance, but it's not the detriment, it's not going to cause us taking that opportunity is fairly low risk at this point. We're in the middle of the park, so by taking that chance there, it means that we've still got other players. It's still a 4v2 on the defensive side. I know that I've got players behind me. I can step in, and there's a chance I might actually win the ball back in this situation, in which case I'm mounting an attack. So we've received the ball here. We're going to drive at the space. In doing so, you bring in those other 2 players into this space here. So you've now got 3 players around you. Be confident with the ball at your feet. If you're proficient with your first touch and with your control of the ball, you can feel relaxed in this situation, that you're still in control of it. And that, by the way, that kind of calmness and comfort with the ball is something that we can really, really instill as coaches, because what we're looking at here is the result of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of training in the right way, but being encouraged, because we're actually, to get this level of proficiency, you're going to have made thousands of mistakes, and it's about learning from those and not feeling like you can't make the next one, because that's ultimately the game being the biggest teacher, is that you make the mistakes, and if you're aware of them, that means you can learn from them, and mistakes are something that should be as coaches, we should be encouraging people to just get back on and try it again, just to encourage people to be positive, creative, and able to learn from those mistakes. It's important that we don't instill any kind of fear of making that mistake. It's actually a good thing. It's the way to learn. It's the quickest way anyway. So in drawing those players here, we've got the 3v1. We've got the ball and we know what we're doing. We're actually drawing those players onto us. The players aren't actually going to make the challenge, as I mentioned before. we're not going to let them get close enough. This player on the ball is not going to realize the danger is upon us. The time now is to make the pass. I've drawn 3 players in. That means there's 1 marking me. I've drawn 2 others in. That means there's 2 players free on the field. Teammates are going to notice that. They're going to move into that space. So that's when we make the pass here. And we're going to drive. If we attack this space here, we're committing a 3v2 on this side. So just a way to bring in some of the key points, because we always focus on or a lot of the time it tends to be the end result. So for central midfield players, how well can we create the opportunity? How well can we look up, see the opportunity and make the pass? But there's a whole lot of other things that go into it as well. So a lot of things to understand, a really wide skill set, and something that I would encourage all coaches to have players build an understanding of, because they are vastly interchangeable skills with other positions as well. So if we've got an idea of how we play in that position, and that proficiency, the central midfielders statistically touch the ball. Other than defenders playing out from the back, we're talking about key touches, which is under pressure, and key passes are coming from the midfield players typically. So important to get to know the role. Definitely, we're not suggesting that everybody has to play that role by any stretch. But yeah, really good to build an understanding of.
Yeah, thanks, Coach Mark. I think for a lot of you, it's great. It's great to see those clips. I know for me to understand and watch those clips through and through your analysis, understanding that. And we'd like to know too, from you coaches that are watching and have watched several of our live videos, we'd like to hear from you, your feedback on the different ways that we've done the videos. So sometimes we did it without the tactical board and without real game clips in action, highlighting that. So we've done it without either of those. We've done it with just the tactical board, just the board, and drawing it out on the board with the magnets, the NLT tactical board. And then we've also done, like today, done both, and we've also done just the video analysis. So let us know what you like, what you get excited about, what helps you learn it the best, and let us know in the comments. Okay, we'd love to hear that from you. So if it's just us on video talking through and teaching that way, or with just the tactical board, with the video analysis, or with all 3 like we did today. So we had great feedback on the past one that we did with the live video analysis with the in-game analysis. So we wanted to work that in. We've been working that in a little bit because of the feedback. So let us know, which one you like the best, and we'll tweak the upcoming lives to fit that preference, the overall preference. So we got Abdul from Oklahoma. Thanks so much for joining. We got Dashian with just his point of view on one of the videos, which is great. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, you're exactly right. And we appreciate your feedback with that too. And we'll get to any questions that we didn't hit on here today. We'll get back to those. Now, one thing I did want to mention before we wrap up, and we are trying to wrap these up within like half an hour. We're going a little bit over today, but we want to make sure we got through all those clips, the training, and then also to let you know before we wrap up that our individual skills videos plus ebook pack has been a huge hit. Coaches have loved it. One of the reasons is because it's what they can pass it along to their players, included in the one-time price. And this is individual skills training that they can do at home during this quarantine time that we can't be out on the field with our players right now. Or a lot of I shouldn't say I'm sure there's some places maybe you can, but a majority of us, we can't be with team. Mark and I put our heads together and created the individual skills ebook and videos package, which has over 40 individual skills that they can work on at home. By themselves. There's also sessions you can do with two players, you and one other player. If you have a brother, sister, or teammate nearby, you can do these and still social distance. Obviously, keep that distance. and get your training in. So we have this just for $9. We've never done this before where we're allowing coaches to share it with their players included in the one-time $9 price, but we're doing that now just because of this time is so difficult for us as coaches and for the players and for the world overall. So we wanted to do, something for this time. So that's what we're doing. You can put it in the comments here. It's coachestrainingroom.com/skills. And you can grab that now. I'm going to pin that here at the bottom. But it's as simple as that. You go there, put in that info, and you'll get the instructions on your access details to get into the portal. And you can have access anywhere that you have internet, anywhere in the world, on your iPhone, iPad, laptop, anything like that. So Coach Mark and myself put a lot of time in putting that together so kids can work on it outside of their normal sessions. So I know Coach Mark, Zibby says all three. He loved all three, which I thought might be the most popular. So Coach Kirsten's on, Coach Randy, thanks so much for joining us. Coach Mark, I know, we as you've been seeing as well, the feedback we've been getting on this package. So, if you want to share anything on that, but we've been happy with the feedback and happy that coaches are able to pass on and keep their kids active and moving at home and keep them learning.
Yeah, for sure. Crazy time. And for us, it was important. Obviously, we don't have the time on the field, so we wanted to make something that was really, really easy to. You don't need to be a coach to actually present a lot of these things. It's the beauty of it is that you don't actually need a coach around to do it. It's about as self-explanatory as it can get. You just need a couple of things you can use. You could use a tweeter or something as one of the obstacles, as long as you've got a soccer ball and 5 yards of space is something that can be done, and it's all useful touches on the ball. So we've got some of the stuff in there that's fun, that like Eric's touched on before, that you may not necessarily use in a game, but it's the stuff that gets people excited. It's the it's the things that you can do, and if you can go away and be inspired to try the next one, and you can do it, it just encourages you to stay out. And any touches on a soccer ball at this time are hugely important, because when we do get back to normal and we're back to the field, we're not only going to be at the position that we were, we might just have put on some of those first touches, that proficiency that I've talked about today through the session. So and again, as I've mentioned, any of these touches, it's like coins into a piggy bank. It might not seem like a lot right now, but in months and years to come, this is the time to put in the work. So we are proud of it. It's something that we put a lot of time and effort into. So and we have got some really good feedback on it. So even if you're just a parent and you've got your child's bored at home, don't feel like you can't get that and you won't understand it, because again, we've tried to make it as straightforward as possible, so that you can even do it at home with your players.
Exactly. Yes, and I'd encourage that too. The kids will like that. Parents trying it with their kids, get that time in with their kids, because a lot of parents aren't getting that with all the video games, the Netflix, the apps on the phone, and everything like that. This will pull them away from that a bit. They're still watching a video, but they're watching a how-to, and you guys are doing it together. So it's good deal, and it's, like I said, $9 lifetime access. Amazing. So yeah, well said, Mark. Thanks for sharing. And again, that link, it's very simple, coachestrainingroom.com/skills, SKILLS. You'll go to the page. You can read more about it if you need to, and you can check out there, and it'll give you your access immediately to your email inbox. So coaches, we appreciate you so much for joining live. Your thumbs up, your hearts, your feedback. Let us know, out of the different ways we've done the videos, let us know what your favorite way is, whether that's no board, no video analysis, or if it's the board you like the best with the video, or with us on video, and then, or all three. Let us know. I have a feeling what it's going to be. And we have been getting the feedback and making it more like that. So today we hit all three. So let us know. And we really appreciate you. Stay safe out there. Thanks for all the hearts, the loves. check out coachestrainingroom.com and also our Facebook page, which you're already on now, most likely. And again, these will be archived in the portal as well for viewing later, and also our Facebook page. So, all right, we appreciate you. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye now.